everybody, Hobo4Craft, aka Mr.Hobo, bringing you guys what looks to be a good game. It is going to be BEV Loliet versus MYM Lucifer, two very solid players. And right off the bat we can see Lucifer is going for an Ultra Crypt Ziggurat build right off the bat, all three buildings, which I always thought to be a pretty interesting build. Does allow you to get both ghouls and your hero out pretty quickly, so you can do a good bit of harassment, especially against a Night Elf player, when you can use your ghouls to draw the creeps to their Ancient of War and do all sorts of different harass and go for the wisps, all that good stuff, if you do choose to do so. But it looks like Lucifer is having a good time so far, and now he will just be pumping out some acolytes, of course. In the meantime, we do see that we have a standard build here from Loliet, and I do believe this game is from the 2011 ECL Finals, so obviously both players have to be pretty good, but both pretty household names, so we don't have to question that at all. But we are getting a Demon Hunter here out for the Night Elf, and a Dark Knight here for a Death Knight here for Lucifer, and it looks like he is just going to be going for a pretty offensive build early in the game, getting that Tomb of Relics. A nice timing. He's going to be able to get a Dust and probably a Rod of Necromancy before he does head over to harass Loliet, and he just might make it in time to get a little bit of creep jacking. Now, that is the good thing about this early build, which is probably why he chose to do it. He probably knows Loliet's type of style. I assume they're buddies and play quite often just by the way they talk to each other. But Loliet right now is pulling, and he will be going for this Overseer right away, but making sure he won't kill anything with his Ancient of War. And it looks like we are going to have Lucifer actually going for that aura first, and he's just going to be creeping himself, so he's going to power creep early in the game. And we can see he does have a nice build here. If we look at this, he will be able to have a nicely protected Ziggurat and Tomb of Relics, but this is nice because if he does want to make it a Nerubian tower, it will be in good position. Now, we did get a +6 clause of attack there for the Demon Hunter. Very nice. Going to make it even more imbalanced, just kidding, but always probably the best drop that you can get this early in the game would be a clause, but we do have a Cloak of Shadows. Boo for Lucifer. Though I say boo, but sometimes, you know, those Cloaks of Shadow can really come in at the randomest times and just save you. Not too often does that happen, but man, when it does, you really are grateful that you got that Cloak of Shadows. In the meantime, we do have Lucifer going for his tier 2, and we are having Loliet just creep all over the place. Pretty creep intensive this far in the game. Good scouting here from Lucifer, keeping rods in good use by using those skeletons to go scout in increments, and he will be going to see if we are getting a tech from Loliet, which we definitely are. Meanwhile, he is about 2.5 on his Demon Hunter, and Lucifer will shortly be about the same after he gets rid of all of these gnolls. And he himself did get a clause of attack here. Did use a coil, that's fine this early in the game when both players are just going to be going for creep. He's not going to need it to go for a creep harass, obviously, because he's creeping himself, and he is not going to be offensive it by any means, so using the coil in this situation is going to be fine. And I do think we're going to get a pretty fast level 3 here. He has pulled this Drake away from the Fountain of Health. Very nice idea. Very good creeping right there, and Lucifer looks like he's going to be a little bit behind. Now he's getting a second crypt, which definitely tips off that he's probably going to go for gargoyles. If he doesn't, I'm going to be surprised. Lucifer does love his gargoyles. What undead doesn't love his gargoyles, but he obviously doesn't love his ghouls. He's he loses 2 ghouls right there. That is not what he wants. In the meantime, we do have Lolly at level 3 getting a Robe of the Magi. Very, very nice drop right there. If he does decide to go, well, it depends what his second hero is going to be. But either way, just a very good drop is going to allow for a ton of mana burns. But my guess he's going to drop it off on his second hero. Now normally that's going to be a panda, especially when we're going to have Ghoul Gargoyle, and with, I'm assuming he's probably going to give the Mantle of Intelligence and Robe of the Magi to it, so it's going to have +9 intelligence as soon as it's out of the tavern. So it's going to be pretty amazing. Looks like he tried to gear up for a surround there. Would have been very nice, but Lucifer too quick for that. Going to micro away, and he is in fact going for that panda. Bad news bears for Lucifer. And we are getting another Acolyte out, so it just might be a scout or an extra builder, so he doesn't have to pull off the mine every time he wants to build something. Could be gearing up for an expansion pretty soon here as well. If we get another shot, we might be able to pick this off. No, it looks like he will detonate it, and everything is going to get away fine. Though this Demon Hunter is going to be very annoying. Keeping tabs on this Death Knight. Why do I keep wanting to say Dark Knight? In the meantime, while he is scouting with this Demon Hunter constantly, he will be able to steal the creeps of his opponent. Now, if the Death Knight were to wander over here, unfortunately for Loliet, that would be a bad day for the panda. So this is very risky. However, if he does pull it off, it's going to be high reward. So high risk, high reward, and that is always how it goes in the game of Warcraft 3. Though this Demon Hunter just being so annoying, just about the same speed as this Death Knight with Unholy Aura. Oh my gosh, look how slow this panda is on life. Will be level 2. Now definitely needs to head over to that Fountain of Health, but in the meantime, very good harass from Lucifer, getting a lot of wisps, and at the very least causing a lot of gathering time to be decreased from them moving back and forth. And for Night Elf, definitely wood is the most important resource, very precious, as the curious gathering techniques of wisps make it very hard to get a substantial amount. And we can see he's kind of blocked at around 40. Definitely not what he wants, though he is pumping out those dryads finally, running on only 1 Ancient of Lore, make it 2 pretty soon. But this harass, make no mistake about it, definitely delayed that second lore and any dryads that we might have seen, though I think this Ancient of War just, no, it almost went down to this lone Forest Troll Trapper. There might be other creeps here, but no, maybe. I don't know what he was doing with this Ancient of War. I think he just mis-microed it. But we do have this Red Drake go down basically in an instant to all those gargoyles. That's going to make it level 3. And he will be scouting around to see what he can pick off. Will it be anything? It looks like we're going to get a quick breath of fire with that Drunken Haze. Definitely a deadly combination. We can see all the life of the gargoyles go down so quickly. And we will pick off an archer, but that is about it. We also will get this Ancient of War, does get the last hit, and going to steal the creeps as well. Loses nothing himself except some HP on gargoyles, which will be very easily regenerated from a Fountain of Health. In the meantime, getting tier 3. Does he have a shade on the field? Yes, it looks like he does. And this will allow him to get a lot of creep jacks and feel safe to creep where he knows his opponent will not be. So definitely a very good idea to go for that right now. Just producing more ziggurats. I don't think we're going to get any more tech pretty soon here from Lucifer. He will need to get an expansion if he wants to go for Frost Rooms or maybe Abominations this late in the game. He is kind of committed pretty hard to, oh, it looks like we are going to get a surround here with a Moonwell and a Demon Hunter. Lucifer was not expecting this at all. It looks like he will try to attack his way out of it. I think he might have been able to get out of it, but this Dryad was here ready. He did have a Staff of Teleportation, so it looks like he just went to his shade. Wow, definitely a very nice surround there from Loliet. You don't see many good ones like that nowadays. Just kidding, yeah you do, but that was pretty interesting, you gotta admit. In the meantime, Loliet is creeping the shop right here. We'll get a Scroll of the Beast. Definitely a very nice drop, especially when you go for that last final push and you want to get a lot more DPS on your whole army, and that's exactly what he will do. In the meantime, we just might get a Dryad picked off here, and this Unholy Aura is proving invaluable as it is allowing for a lot of narrow escapes in many situations. Lucifer, we can see he's microing very well here, getting away with 1 HP on that gargoyle. And it looks like the Shade is coming back into the party. He's a little lost at this point, but he definitely will find his friends back at this huge city of trees. In the meantime, I think Lucifer just now is realizing that all of his creeps are gone. He's like, hey, where are all the ogres and trolls? They're not there. So he can expand there pretty soon because he doesn't have to creep there, but that's a lot of experience that he's going to be missing out on, and only now is he going to be getting Lich. Normally you do see that when your undead player is going to be going for a lot of gargoyles and trying to harass very hard. Sometimes you can harass with both heroes and fewer amount of gargoyles, but I do think that a higher amount of gargoyles is definitely the better choice because it's much more mobile, and you can not have to worry about your hero getting picked off because Lich is very squishy early in the game, especially when all your mana is going to be burned from this Demon Hunter. But you know what? Loliet is just doing a fantastic job of keeping his Demon Hunter back while he is creeping with his Panda. It looks like the Shade will get spotted. Nice job there by Loliet. Good recognition. But yeah, he's doing a great job of keeping only his Demon Hunter back, only what's necessary, and in the meantime just creeping with his Panda because a Demon Hunter over level 3 isn't too necessary when you're going for this type of build, which is going to be heavy archers and dryads, because really the main thing is that you get your Panda very high level so you can have a great Drunken Haze and Breath of Fire combination to deal with gargoyles and ghouls, or maybe ghoulgoyles was what I was going to say. But we do have that Orb of Corruption on this Lich. Obviously went for Frost Nova first, as we just saw there. And it's going to be a lot of damage on this Lich, as we do see he transferred the claws as well. And let's just take a look at the items of this Panda. We can see he has 500 mana. That's going to be ridiculous. He does have a Periapt of Vitality, also 1200 HP, so this guy's not going to go down for a while. It's going to take a lot of undead nuking here. We do have a Medallion of Courage, Strength +4, and Panda of course is Strength based, and Intelligence. So this is the ideal Panda Bear that we have here, and it's really going to do a lot of damage. I think it just might be the deciding factor of this game. If Lucifer here can somehow manage to take it down, that probably would seal the deal. I don't see how he could win possibly without doing that. He's running on one base. He does not have an expansion yet. He now is going for Frost Rooms, which might help in that cause, but he's throwing on 2 more slaughterhouses. I don't know if he can really afford all this for much longer. But we do have a Boots of Speed dropped. I don't know what the point of that was. I think he was transferring it back to his Demon Hunter right there. We're going to get an Ancient of Lore picked off, and that's the annoying thing about, as a Night Elf, building your buildings away from your bases. They're very vulnerable, obviously, and Dryads now are coming into the mix. They will get a shot off on this Frost Rim. He's trying to micro around, so he will be able to get a good shot. It looks like we're going to go for a couple of nukes here. This Demon Hunter getting focus fire down very heavily. It does have a potion of invulnerability. That is 15 seconds. However, it looks like Lucifer does not want to risk it. He will back out. And Loliet is going to regroup, having a team huddle here with the Dryads. Dust of Appearance to make sure a Shade is not eavesdropping, but it looks like he was a little premature on that. bears now coming out into the mix. Don't exactly agree with this. It is good for rejuvenation, but at this point in the game, if you guys heard that, that was my dog shaking. At this point in the game, I think the dryads, just massing those would be what would be best, especially against all these gargoyles. When paired up with a panda is just so effective. Looks like one gargoyle will burst into bones as it is picked off. Splitting his army a little bit dangerous because he really needs his panda to take a lot of that damage, and one dryad is going to go down, and this does not look good for Loliet at all. He might get a second. Looks like he tried to, yeah, he is going to sacrifice his frost room to make the slow really come into handy here, slowing down both of the heroes. Very good micro by Lucifer. Looks like he really understands his unit composition very well. And this Lich doesn't look to be doing so hot. Okay, we will be able to narrowly escape with that level 2 Unholy Aura. Loliet looping back around. He is eager to fight, but I do not think he will be scouting that his opponent is looping back around again. So I do think Lucifer will be able to pick off a couple poor Murlocs and head over, maybe intercept a unit or two would be the smartest decision at this point. Do have this nice scouting wisp just camping out at this natural expansion. And Loliet is looking for creeps to kill. He is hungry, but he has done a very good job of keeping the map pretty empty of any creeps. Might just go for these Murlocs here. Looks like he will. And really is power leveling this panda to the best of his ability. A little bit of a scout around with this demon hunter, and destroyer form actually being researched, but no obsidian statues out on the field. Very curious. I don't think going destroyers would be worth the one bear that's here. I really am questioning this decision. It looks like the Ancient Protector is going to try to be protecting, but to no avail, as all these wisps definitely are going down. And there comes the TP, or maybe it's just a staff. No, it's going to be a full-blown TP. And wow, Lucifer is going to walk away with his opponent 350 gold poorer. So very nice harass and run right there. He might intercept this demon hunter, and that would be a very bad situation here for Loliet. I do think he knows what is going on. He knows the situation, but Loliet going to be able to regroup in time. Lucifer is backing off, and Loliet's still very aware of this expansion. He had the Wisp, and he had the Demon Hunter here earlier, so he is doubly aware. And I'm surprised at the somewhat lack of units we see from Loliet. We can see he's keeping under 50 supply, so he'll be at no upkeep. And I don't know if this is going to pay off for him, because if there's one huge confrontation and he loses all of his units, well, he won't be able to take advantage of the fact that he had saved up all that money, because, well, the game is going to be over. There are going to be gargoyles all up in your business. So I don't know if I agree completely, but it looks like one gargoyle will be picked off. Another just might go down to the speed of this unholy aura, and I do know it looks like Lucifer is going to be backing away, and I sense a lot of tension here. We do see Lucifer going to the Goblin Merchant here. He'll be getting a Scroll of Healing. I'd go for even 2, one on each hero, just to be safe. And we have a Necropolis, but no gold mine is taken yet. And this expansion going to be cancelled instantly. Detonate on the Frost Rims and the Gargoyles, so no mana for them. And it looks like we are gearing up for the last and final confrontation. Meat Wagons in the mix. We do have an Obsidian statue, but I do believe it's just going to be used for healing. And it looks like the Demon Hunter is so close to dying. Look at those undead nukes, but he did pull off that potion of invulnerability. A lot of rejuvenations going down. There goes the statue form, and it will be canceling all of the drunken haze, and what can I say? All the dryads are just in ruins. They are literally exploding all throughout the field of battle. Meanwhile, we do have this demon hunter being focused down. Everything is gone for Loliet in a matter of seconds. These these meat wagons combined with all these gargoyles, so much piercing and splash damage. There was no chance for Loliet from the beginning. And he is just doing what he can to keep these few last units alive, fighting very valiantly, but I do think in the end Lucifer is going to take this game, and there goes the last hero of Loliet. He is going to say good game. So he does call Terran to stand for the next game. However, for this game, it is going to be Lucifer win over Loliet, so that is definitely a very strong win for Lucifer there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Hobo4Craft signing out.